All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We took a little bit of a break there, just to get ready for the holiday season because I'm planning on doing quite a bit of videos once the Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I usually take off that time, and I decided this year to kind of switch things up a little bit. So sorry, I got a little bit of dirt on my face because I was power washing my truck earlier. We've had a lot of snow out here, and not a lot of snow. We had some snow, but we had a lot of rain, and the roads have just been an absolute just nightmare. And so I had to power wash the truck off today. And then Larry from Work Less, Enjoy Life More is visiting. He's out here kind of hanging out right now. And we've got a really cool looking terrain at the moment with the sun that's going down. And so I wanted to take you outside so we can take a look at it. So let's go out there. We're going to leave Meadow in here and we'll go outside and let me see. I'm not using a gimbal here, so I'm gonna have to do this manually. So when I adjust the tripod, it's gonna be a little shaky. So, but like I was saying, I just kind of took off the month of November and decided just to get my batteries kind of recharged because I know, Meadow, you're staying inside, sweetie. Just because like I've never really taken time off from YouTube, but I've been doing it for 10 years. And I'll take off like a week here and there, but I just kind of needed to not do anything for a while. So it was really nice. Hey, hang on a minute, let's get back. So let's see. What's up, Matt? How you doing? What's up, Scott? How's it going, man? Uh, I you're definitely missing out on the winter wonderland here, Scott, because it was cold and snowy the other day, and now it's just cold. It's like the snow's already kind of passed. But here's what we're looking at right here. And I got my hot tub going. We got Larry. He's parked right over there. And then he's also got his mini camper out here with the tracker. And then sunset right now, it's going to be really nice here tonight because these clouds have just been, they've kind of been breaking up. The storm is right over there and it's just now leaving the area. So we had rain all morning and then also into the afternoon a little bit. And the roads out here are just really a mess at the moment. And so, but what's nice is it looks like we got sun all this week, and then that way all the roads will get all cleared out. And then I'm using my brush hog to clear out land, like so huge bush, clearing all this out, and then making more room for other little native plants that are coming in. I've got some. I'll show you right here. Got some baby pine trees that are starting to shoot up and all that stuff. And so the goal is with that brush hog that I purchased, which that'll be in the next video. I've already got that vid, and that'll be posted up tomorrow. Is what we'll do. We'll post that up. But what the goal is to get rid of all the scrub oak that's around the area and expose all that. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Let's see, runaway parents. Hey, brother, looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's been nice out here. And what's cool is using this brush hog. I had a big fence, a big debris fence that went around my property. And you can kind of see, this is the brush hog here, but you can kind of see the fence right here. It was like this. So a lot of debris built up. It was like 3 or 4 feet tall and all that stuff. And then if you look over here, this is that same area where the fence would be. You can see it's all mulched up. And so it's really cool to have the land put up and have like, big old pine trees, have the whole bottom of them opened up. And I'm just gonna do that throughout the rest of my land on the upper section here and make more room for like the native plants and those things, and also for these pine trees to flourish. Because since I've cut back the big old bushes that were all in this area, these trees are really starting to take off and they're looking super healthy. And same with the other areas of my land. And so I'm pretty excited for how things are going to turn out here. So, all right, let's see what we got. We got Danya. What's going on? Oh yeah. Oh, it's been really bad. So we had to power wash Larry's truck off because the dually tires they got a lot of rocks and mud in between the 2 tires. And we were like, well, we need to get that out of here before, he gets back on the road, because who knows how that could affect his tires and the wheels and all that stuff. So we got all that squared away, and it took literally like an hour for each side to power wash it out because there was so much debris. And then just to let you guys know, I've been kind of making some changes here. I cut down the majority of the tree behind me here. And reason being is that we're gonna knock that down anyway, but I'm gonna be doing my roof soon, and then I'm gonna be putting my solar up there. And those trees kind of block that. And then also right here for the wintertime, I've got my diesel heater, and I've got a little cover over the top because it's not totally waterproof. And then also put in my wood stove. So we've got 2 ways to heat, and it's kind of nice having the diesel heater. I'll like run the wood stove during the daytime, and then at night I'll run the diesel heater so I can sleep all night and not have to get up and start the stove. And that's like the winning ticket because, the last 10 winters I've done it just with the wood stove and not had the diesel heater. And I can tell you that, you need to get that full night's sleep, like the REM sleep. You need to get into that and not be up every 2.5 hours stoking your stove because you can't really get into that restful sleep. And then you just kind of operate at exhaustion all winter. And that's what I was dealing with the past couple winters. I'm like, man, this has got to change. And so the fact that I'm able to use that diesel heater is really nice. And it doesn't use much diesel at all. So I wanted to show you, we'll flip around here. So with my land, you can see how you can see through it now. See how you can see past just like a bunch of bushes because all this is full of bushes. Now I can actually see wildlife running around in my land. You can see past the bushes, and you can also see the contour of how my land like drops off. So that was the big reason for getting rid of those scrub oaks. And so, what's up, Emmy? And it's been great for to mulch all that stuff up and get them out of here. I just think the land, when I've done that to other areas, the plants that are in the immediate area just respond so positively. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So, what's up, Larry? I don't know if you guys saw some crazy dudes outside of my camper window talking about trees. So, anyway, for those that haven't seen it, this is Larry's tracker that he's got, and he's got a way to sleep fully in here. You look in the front, and he has a bed that goes all the way to the back. So it's pretty awesome in there. And for someone who appreciates living in small spaces, that thing's genius. So, but we'll go back inside here and hang out with Meadow and chat about stuff. What's up, girl? What you thinking, sweetie? So Meadow's been doing really good. I'm really pleased with her progress. I know, sweetie. And she's getting more and more affectionate each day. When I first got her, she wanted to play like really rough and kind of roughhouse to the point to where it was kind of iffy. I was like, man, I don't want to do this all the time. And what I've realized now is that with me just like loving up on her and like, giving her belly scratches and stuff like that, she's getting to the point now to where she prefers that stuff over, roughhousing, which is good because I wanted to kind of change her personality in that regard. And she's getting a lot better with people as well. And so I think I'm going to go to that truck camper rally in Quartzsite in February because that'd be cool to go down there and kind of hang out. Larry reminded me of how that was going on in February. I completely forgot about it. And I was going to go last year. I just bailed at the last minute, but yeah, I'm gonna probably do that, and Meadow will be good, with the people down there and all that stuff. So I'm really stoked about that. And let's see, we have some comments here. So Vivian, yeah, they've company, how cool, hey Meadow. And then Maria, yeah, resembles Sierra. Yeah, she does. There's a couple times where I've gotten up in the morning and I'll look over, I'll be like, my gosh, that's a spitting image of Sierra. She's a little bit bigger because she's probably about 20 pounds heavier than Sierra. Sierra at her heaviest was like 50 pounds, but she usually operated around 45. And Meadow's about 62, I think, is what last time we had her weighed. And she's put on some weight since because she's still filling out. But what's nice is since I've kept her on leash ever since we got back from Colorado, she's more like sticking around me, and I can get her off leash a little bit now, and she doesn't like run off immediately like she used to. And so I'm getting her trained. I'm still wanting to put a fence up though around the upper area of the land and have it be a high fence so that way I can let her outside. She can kind of run around and dig in the dirt and kind of do a dog thing while I get stuff done here. Because the way it operates now is when I go out and operate the brush hog and all that stuff, I keep her tied to the ATV because we'll take the ATV over there, and she loves to just sit on the back of the ATV. So it's a good solution for now, but it would be nice to have like a full yard for her to run in and just kind of expend a bunch of energy because these Belgian Malinois, I'm telling you, they have like a nuclear reactor for their energy source. It's nonstop, and it's good because it keeps me active. But one of the reasons why I took off a lot of time last month is that neck injury that I had when I fell out of my camper and when I was in Colorado and hit my head on the swing out table or the swing out that I had, the table that drops down. I hit my head on that falling out of the truck and just really jacked up my neck. And it seems like it's getting worse. And so I think this week after the roads clear up, there's a good urgent care center over in Chino Valley. And I'm going to call them up and say, hey, this is what happened. Do you think I should come in there? Or do you think I should go to like a specialist or whatever? I haven't really gone to a doctor in a while. So I'm not sure how the whole thing works right now, but I do want to get my neck checked out because it feels like the vertebrae that's right underneath the base of my skull that goes into my skull there, it feels like it's completely out of place. And the problem with that is when I try to sleep, I lay my head down on the pillows, just the angle of it on the pillows there and all that stuff, it makes it to where I can't get any sleep at night. So I haven't been resting very good. And so that's why I took some time off. I was thinking that maybe I could get it better with just a bunch of hot tub sessions and stuff like that, but it ends up that it's just bothering me too much now. And so I kind of put a break on doing a lot of check dam work. I've still done a lot of work in my lower meadow, and I've done a few more check dams over on the north side of my property, but I've stalled that for now. Also, too, we've had a lot of weather with the snow that's come through and those things. So, um, I'll pick that back up if the weather begins to warm. But this coming week, we've got temperatures around 60 for like Thanksgiving, and then after that, it plummets down into the low 40s during daytime highs. And so winter's kind of here. And as we get warm bumps, I'm going to do earthworks projects, but it's not going to be like it's as consistent as I am in like the spring and summer and fall. And then gonna do a little bit of traveling this winter. I want to get the rest of my truck camper built out and everything, and then that way Meadow and I can do a little bit of roaming. So let's see. Yeah, Scott. So I did see the aurora or the northern lights. The it was like 2 nights in a row we saw them down here, and they were. It was kind of like a deep red at the like the horizon level, and then as it went into the sky, it got a little bit more light red. And at first, it was hard to see it, but then once your eyes adjust, you know, uh, you can see it naturally. So it took about 20 minutes, and then I could see it. I was sitting in my hot tub, so it was pretty awesome. So let's see, Vivian, see, yes, go and check. I once fell and not two vertebrae straight that are naturally curved. Oh wow, yeah, I know that this is out of whack because I can feel it. I mean, I have neck pain constantly, and like all the muscles on this side are always really cramped up, and I think they're just getting an X-ray to kind of see where I'm at because I was thinking about okay maybe chiropractor, but I want to get the X-ray first, and then make sure that I don't have any sort of situation where if I did get an adjustment, it could paralyze me because sometimes that happens. But I know it needs to get sorted out because I can't keep going because I can operate the brush hog for a couple hours, but then after that, it's like my neck hurts so bad I have to lay down, and it's giving me pretty bad headaches too. And when I talk, the vibration from my vocal cords, it hurts my neck. And so I was like, well, that's not very good. So I figure, going and getting it checked out, since it hasn't gotten any better since I got back from Colorado, it's necessary to do. So I'll keep you all informed with that. And then going forward here, just doing more earthworks projects. I've removed 7 pack rats nests so far, which is crazy. And so I'm hoping that that's kind of the end of those. What's nice about with using the brush hog is I can clear out the areas where they would normally set up camp and set up those huge nests, and then they don't have an option. They have to just go somewhere else. So I'm kind of forcing those away, which is good because I mean my truck just gets hit constantly with mice and pack rats and all that stuff, and it's just annoying to deal with. So it'd be nice to get him out of here. So we got Kyle Fox. What's up, man? See, I haven't been getting your notifications for a while now, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I've talked to YouTube about that a million times, and they always just kind of gloss it over. Oh, everything's operating fine. I'm like, no, it's not. But it's just been that way with them for a couple of years ever since I think I got shadow banned because my channel was plugging along and then one arrow just went and then just held there for like 2 years and then it started to come back up. So it's been frustrating. That's another reason why I want to take some time off, just kind of recharge my batteries and kind of get away from being online all the time. Like I didn't even hardly look at my phone the past month. So it was nice to kind of just not be involved in filming all the time and having the pressure to film, and then also dealing with like comments because comments are crazy, and that can get old. So after 10 years of doing it, I'm like, it's one of those things to where I feel like it was a needed break, but now I'm ready to really crush it this winter and film a bunch because there's a ton of stuff I could film out here, and then there's some neat stuff going on in Seligman too because it seems like the town is really starting to come back around. There's like an energy around town because Route 66, the 100-year anniversary is coming up this coming year, and so I think that's I mean like 3 new businesses that have come into town. There's a place called Highway Hot Dog, which is really good. They've got really good food. Like insane different variations of hot dogs and brats and like pulled pork sandwiches, all that stuff, in a really cool interior space that they built out. And then we got that coffee shop, the Commodore House, which is awesome. They got the best Filipino food for lunch, so I like that. And there's a bakery going in next to the coffee shop. So it seems like the town's kind of coming around. And the National Park Service put up a $660,000 grant for any towns along Route 66 in Arizona, because if you think about it, like Williams and Seligman and Ashfork and all that stuff, all the people that are going to the Grand Canyon, they go through. A lot of them go through those towns. Some of them stay in those towns, or they spend money in those towns. Whatever, have lunch. Like that's what Seligman's kind of known for. When the people fly into Las Vegas, the international airport there, we're their lunch stop on their way to Vegas, because they are on their way to the Grand Canyon, because they go up to Williams and then go north to the Grand Canyon. But all these grants and stuff that are going on, it's to spruce up Route 66 and make it like to where the towns can start to come back. And the cool thing about it is I started looking into, I mean, Seligman used to be insanely cool way back in the day. But by the 50s, when the train stopped coming here, when train transportation stopped and it was more like the cars got more reliable and you'd have to stop every 20 or 30 miles, for a hotel. And then also, too, when the interstate came in and bypassed the Route 66, the town just died. But it's crazy. There were like these luxury hotels in town that were right along the railroad. They were called Harvey House hotels, and the one here was called the Havasu Hotel, and it was like literally like a 5-star hotel, and and like other stuff in town that was insane. So it'd be kind of cool. I'm thinking about talking to the historical, or talking to the chamber, the town chamber of commerce, and seeing if I could head up like the historical society, or at least get it going again, and see what we could do. Because I think now is the time to capitalize on all those grants that are coming available for the 100-year celebration of Route 66. So it's cool to see that happen in this town, because it's like, at one point it was an awesome town, and then it's totally declined, and now it's coming back. So it's going to be fun to live here and kind of see that whole evolution take place. I'm excited for that, and I like the history of the Americana history is pretty cool. There's some people that have come into town, into Seligman, and bought homes that were in rough shape, and have completely redone them to where it's like the 1950s style homes, and even all the appliances inside and all that stuff are like 1950s style. And it's just cool to see that, because it's like, I think there's a place for that. And that's a part of American history that was really vibrant for a while and just completely fell off the face of the earth when the interstates came in and bypassed Route 66. So it'd be cool to see what happens. And I think the celebrations this year in all the different towns along Route 66 are going to be a ton of fun. There's one in Seligman called the Fun Run, and that's usually the first weekend in May. And so, I'll talk more about it when that comes up. But if that's, if you're around the area at that time and can make it out here, it'll be pretty cool. Let's see. Dang, I kind of missed the sunset. Let's go outside though and go check out the sunset real quick. We'll take Meadow out with us so she can go on a little walk, because she just ate. And then, actually, no, I'm going to leave her in here, and then I'll take her outside in just a little bit, because she needs to get some water. So let's flip this around now. We'll go outside and check out the sunset and kind of see how it looks. So no, Meadow, stay here. Just stay back. I don't have your leash on yet. I can't take you out right now. I just gave you a bath. She was rolling in some mud earlier, so I had to give her a bath. But yeah, skies are looking pretty good. They're starting to get some oranges coming in. That'll be nice. Have a nice little sunset here. And I tell you what, the one thing I'm thankful about with this area, it's like, with all the travels that I've done and all that stuff, it's hard to find a place that is this quiet. Because a lot of times, especially in Colorado, you're living along, if you're off grid, you're generally in the forest somewhere, and usually it's on a Forest Service trail, so you got people driving by all the time. And that's one thing I always notice when I'm out there. Like all the areas that I know that are still somewhat affordable to buy, there's only a few places left like that. It's just the noise, the ATV traffic all the time and all that stuff, and that's just not anything I think I'd want to be around. And so I'm staying out here. I'm just gonna really deck out my place and make it awesome. And I've been doing a ton more work with these swales, and working with the tall grass that's in there to really get it vibrant growing and all that stuff. And we're just gonna forego, and then I think next year I'm gonna spend a lot more time over in the Eastern Sierras fly fishing that, because I've fly fished all over Colorado, and I love it, but I'm ready for some new terrain. So somebody was asking if that's a Samurai. No, that's a tracker, geo tracker right there. we'll come over. We'll do a little walk around here. I'll show you guys what it's all about. So, got some solar panels up top. And then the sleeping platform is right here. So you got to take out a little bit of gear when you get all set up. And then on the back side here, it's got the door, little outdoor porch light. There's a drop down table. When you open this up, a table drops down. And so, let's see, the back is unlocked. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Larry. All right, so we'll take a look inside here. So, got the gear, the fridge, power stations, little side table there. Here's a drop down table to cook on, and all that stuff, a little storage up top. And then I really appreciate the ingenuity of this thing. I think it's awesome. You did an awesome job, Larry. So, yeah, I know. You see this thing rolling down the road and you're like, what? I'm filming, and just seeing this thing go down the road is awesome. So please take Larry and Michael with you. Teach them how to fish. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I told Larry, I was like, I know some really good spots in Oak Creek Canyon where you're guaranteed to get a halo trout. So I promise I'll get Larry into some good trout fishing this coming year for sure. And same with Michael. And then my truck over there, for those that may have missed it, I've got the Tune camper on the back. So I really like that thing. And just need to build it out a little bit, and then once I build it out, it'll be a lot more comfortable. And with the heater in it, and kind of like a bench seat area that I'm gonna put into it. So let's turn on the lights here a little more. Little bench seat area that's gonna go in there. And underneath the bench seat where I store my boat for summertime fishing, and then for winter, I'm thinking about doing possibly like a slide out extension, and then with the slide out extension, I could have a stove jack in there where I could put a small like backpacking stove or something like that in there for the daytime. Audio's gone. Is the audio gone, folks? Let's see. Hopefully it's still there. It says it's going. So hopefully, let me know if you guys can hear me. I wonder if something happened in the connection. Audio's fine. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, some people are saying it's gone, so other people are saying it's good. Maybe just refresh the browser, and then you're good. Okay, it seems like most people can see me, or I'm sorry, can hear me. But so for the wintertime, though, I do want to get out winter camp, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of being in the Southwest and probably go into Southern California, maybe some parts of Nevada, hit some hot springs. There's some winter fly fishing I could do. And Brian, you might catch my fishing curse. I hope not, man. No, I was thinking, Larry, it'd be cool to go hit the Kern River because it's only like the lower section of it's only like 2,000 feet in elevation. We could be over there in 6 hours from here. And then what's nice about that is, in the wintertime, not a lot of people go up there. So it'd be cool they got huge rainbows in the wintertime, and the flow is not nearly as, the CFS is really low. And so you could go out there. We could definitely go and hit up the river with our boats and just paddle up and down because it's literally like a really slow flow. So, all right, yeah, Donnie, yeah, we'll let you know if we cruise out there. I'd like to do that though this winter. So, see, check out the book "Half Broke Horses" by Jeanette Wells, Life in the Area. Oh yeah, I think I heard about that. I think I saw something about that online the other day. So there's some really neat ranches in this area, like this area of northern Arizona. There's one that's north of Seligman. So thanks, Isaiah. Yeah, it's good to be back. There's one ranch that's north of Seligman, and it's 770,000 acres, deeded acres, and then oh, gotcha. Okay, that's a good that's good advice, Larry. I didn't think about that. But it's 770,000 deeded acres, which is 1,300 square miles. It's one of the top 25 ranches in the country. So, anyway, that's pretty insane to have that here. I added up so there's like 6 main ranches around here, and I added up all the land just from those 6 ranches. It's 1.9 million acres of private land. So this area is never going to blow up, which is why I like it. But being literally 6.5 hours from the Southern Rockies and 6.5 hours from the Eastern Sierras is perfect because I don't have to pay the California or Colorado prices, and yet I can still take advantage of both places and just live in my truck when I'm out there, you know. And then hang out here, which is a quiet area. I love the vibe in northern Arizona. I love Seligman. It's a funky little town, but it grows on you. I've made a bunch of good friends in town. Everybody out here is real cool, and so it's, you know, it's a good fit for me. And the also too with the like the relaxed codes and stuff like that as opposed to other areas. Like Colorado's really gotten a lot more restrictive over the past couple of years with their codes, especially for off grid living. And so that's where it's nice to be out here. Even though our codes have tightened up, it's still loose compared to other areas of the country. And my property taxes are only like $200 a year. So let's see, Scott, you're saying all I want is about 10 acres out there. Yeah, and you know, there's every once in a while that you know you'll come across some really good 10-acre parcels, stuff like that. Just come out here and realize like the pictures that you see online that the realtors put out there are horrible. Like the realtors do a really bad job. And so if you come out and get to walk the land, like when I saw the pictures for this place and then walked it, I was like, man, this is way better than the pictures, like a million times better. And I just think they come out and take a few photos and just put it up and be like, oh, maybe somebody will buy it, maybe somebody won't. But if you get a chance, you know, there's some really neat sections south of I-40 is what I'd recommend. That's the area I know best. And there's just a lot of really cool nooks and crannies back in here. So there's some canyons that are great. You can get land in. You can get anywhere from, you know, 1 acre parcels in some of the areas all the way up to 160-acre parcels. So it just depends on what your budget is. And elevations range from 5,600 up to 6,700. So there's something for everybody. And obviously, the higher you go, the more rain you get. Uh, Cooler climate, and then also a lot more snow. But the access is more difficult, so you got to think about that because the mud out here can be pretty gnarly. And so that's where having a schedule like mine, to where you know I just get to work online and all that stuff, I can hunker down for 4 or 5 days and wait for the roads to firm back up. And one thing in the winter that you can do is you can leave in the morning when the roads are frozen. Then they'll thaw out during the daytime, and they freeze up again at night. You just come back at night, and so that way you can kind of operate like that. But other than that, just really enjoyed some time off. Just did a few things as a camper here. Number one, I've got this oven that I'm using now. So yeah, Dane, I really did find the sweet spot out here. You know, I really feel like I lucked out. And then over here, what I'm doing for the wintertime is I've got you know my wood stove in here, and so I'll use that during the daytime. But then I've also got the diesel heater coming in. So I just put two stove jack ports right here, and then literally just duct taped them on. I just took out a window pane from the window here, and then just put those on there, and it works fine. You know that 100% is just no problem. So I'll do the stove during the daytime, and then get a full night's sleep at night, and it's really awesome. So let's see. Somebody was saying. Let's see. How about Asheville area? Do you mean Ash Fork area? Because Asheville's over in North Carolina. I think you mean Ash Fork. There's some nice areas around Ash Fork too. It's just that area. I don't know it as well as like the Seligman area and the area south of Seligman and all that stuff. And but I have some friends that are over there. They really like it, like Juniper Woods Ranch and some other places. Anywhere from, I think the smallest parcels over there that I've seen are like around 10 acres, and some of them back up right to Forest Service land. And so, if you're looking on a map, the stuff that's underneath Asheville on the west side, so that'd be the left side of 89A, which is or not 89A, Highway 89 that goes down from Ash Fork to Prescott. On that section there, before it gets to Paulden, once you get to Paulden, the price will skyrocket. But anything above that and to the west of 89 is a pretty cool area because it's real hilly back in there. And so if you get land in that section, it feels kind of like you're in a mountainous area, even though there might be some people living on the mountain on this side of the mountain. You never hear them or see them. And so, well, Mongo, the town itself is, but out in the country is different. It's kind of the same in Seligman, you know. It's like the town's kind of got some people that have you know some drinking problems and stuff like that. There's also some meth problems, but you get out in the country and everyone out here is. I mean, at least in my area, we're all you know doing. We're not into that stuff. We're not into partying or any of those things. So, but you know, in town, um, like the parcels that are closest to town, this happens in Seligman too. The parcels that are closest to town get hit with petty theft. You know, people will come out to look for like a generator to steal or a mountain bike or something like that. But if you're far enough out, they don't venture out that far. And so that's where, like in my area, we just never see anybody because it's just us. And but I could be in town in 30 minutes, you know. And so If you get far enough out, you're in good shape. But if you're close to town, you could potentially get hit, because you got to think about it. Somebody who's, maybe messed up on drugs or something like that, they're just going to go for the lowest hanging fruit. They're not going to make a huge effort to get way back out in the back country. They're just going to go like, okay, the first thing I see, I'm going to take and try to take it to a pawn shop. And so that's one thing you have to look out for. That petty theft happens everywhere. It happens in Colorado mountain towns. The petty theft in Colorado mountain towns is actually pretty bad. A lot of people don't realize that, and it's just because so many people coming and going. It's kind of easy to get yourself lost, in the shuffle, and not, you go in there, smash and grab and all that stuff, and it just kind of happens. So, but also too, I lucked out. I've just got great neighbors. I was kind of concerned about my neighbors from Vegas. They turned out to be awesome. So, it's just that I saw a small window into their lives when they come out here, and I think it was that they're really excited to be out here, and so they, be loud and boisterous and all that stuff. But once they got out here and started living here, it's all good. And so I lucked out with having really good neighbors all around me, and so we all get along, we all talk, and I think that's really important because being out here in the country like this, some people can kind of get in the mindset of, oh, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do whatever I want, and no one can tell me anything. And it's like, you still need to be considerate of your neighbors. Because, like, how would you feel if, like, say your neighbors play electronic dance music 24/7 and it's really loud and that's what you hear all day long? Like, you wouldn't be stoked about that. So just kind of always keep that in mind, when going off grid. Just kind of read the room and understand, like, what's this community kind of like. And if you, when you're looking at land, ask the realtor, say, hey, you know, is it cool if I camp overnight on the land? I did that, and the realtor told me, yeah. There's been other realtors that have told other people no, but it's worth asking, because then you can get like, okay, what's the evening like out here? And what are the mornings like? Are people going to work early in the morning, or is everybody kind of staying put? Is there a lot of road noise next to the parcel that I'm looking at? Because if you're looking at it in the middle of the daytime, everybody's doing their work stuff. There are people out here that are retired that I see driving around, whatever time during the day. They're not on like a 9 to 5 schedule, but there are people that go to work. And so, if you want to be real quiet, if you want an area that's real quiet, the best time to go there and see what the noise is like is in the evening. So get there like at 4 p.m. or 4:30, see what it's like through the 5 o'clock hour, and then see what people are like after they have dinner, you know, and then you can get a good feel for the place. And Steve, yeah, it's good to know your neighbors. And like I said, I lucked out with my neighbors. They're all awesome around here. Everybody's cool. And it's when I got out here, it was just Darren, my other neighbor, but I've known him for a long time. But then everybody else started moving in, and it's just cool to have the land. What's that out there? Some walking. Oh no, that's nothing. Um, it's cool to have them kind of come in here and see how they set up their stuff, because everybody sets up their places differently. Like my neighbor Steve, that's around the corner. He's got Darren's little property where it has a cabin on it. Man, he took that place and just dialed it in, like made it super awesome. And then my neighbors Jeff, they're he and Nora are doing well, getting their place all set up. So see, survival. Survival main. I must say it. I'm sorry, I can't read that. It's such a small. But no, I've been doing good. Just took some time off, and just kind of just unplugged and got off the internet, and just really kind of recharged my batteries, because for 10 years I hadn't really taken a long break, and then I was like, I need to take a month off, and so that's what I did. And then throughout the holidays, I'll post a bunch. Typically in the past, throughout the holidays, I kind of don't post much, but I'm going to post a ton this year. So somebody was asking, see, Miller 3, where do people work on there? A lot of people work online. There's a lot of construction stuff, and things to do with, like, I mean, in town, if you wanted to work there, it's essentially just like restaurants and bartending jobs, but there's more people coming around now, so those people are actually doing pretty good. But as far as other work, lots of general contracting stuff, lots of handyman work, and people pay you cash, and so it's kind of under the table, which is nice. And so things like that, and then online work. Online work's really popular out here, because a lot of people now can remote work with after all the COVID stuff went down. So, but that it made prices go up quite a bit. So, are you required to build eventually in your county? You're not required to, but if you want to get a certificate of occupancy, you need to. And it used to be to where when you came out here and you just install your septic, then you would get an address. But now they require you to build structures and get them permitted to get an address and all that stuff, or at least have your plans approved by the county that you're building, and then you get an address out here, and then you get your certificate of occupancy after everything's all checked off. But I plan to go that route next year and get something built out here. Probably go with something pretty small out of the gate, and then after that, kind of expand from there. So. Let's see, Cal, you're asking health code. Yep, health's doing good. And yeah, I caught the Northern Lights. It was awesome. They were deep reds. Then as it went up further in the sky, it was more like a light red. So that was cool. And just been doing real good. Just enjoying things out here and just hanging out with Meadow a bunch, taking her on quad rides every single day. She absolutely loves that. So we've got some footage of that coming up in the next video, which I'll be posting tomorrow. And then other than that, just enjoyed life for the last month and didn't worry about comments, didn't worry about posting or filming, or just lived my life, and it felt awesome because I haven't done that in a long time. I've always felt the pressure to film and all that stuff because I want to keep y'all up to date with what I'm doing. And I figure if I'm gonna have a channel, I might as well, put my best foot forward. But I started looking the other day, I'm like, I'm coming up on 950 videos that I've uploaded so far to YouTube. That's a lot. And that's a lot of work. So, taking a little break was nice. And it just helped me kind of refresh my perspective and all that stuff. So it's good for you, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Say good to hear. Love watching your videos. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's been a cool journey. I was thinking about that the other day. I was sitting in the hot tub, and it was during one of the meteor showers. So I was seeing a bunch of meteors, and I'm like, man, to think this all started with me just going out, thinking that I'd be out truck camping for a year, and that I'd find a mountain town to settle down in, and now look at where I'm at. I never thought YouTube would be my job ever. I thought I'd like guide or something like that. And so the fact that everything worked out and I was able to pay for this place, and luckily it kind of coincided with when my channel was going off. And so I was going viral, and so I was able to pay for this place with cash. So I don't have any debt, which is ideal when you're off grid because things come up and things are expensive and all that stuff. And it's also limited ways to make money out here. That's why I feel really fortunate for YouTube. And so like I have you all to thank for that, for tuning in all these years, because without that, none of this would have been possible, you know. And I kind of pinch myself. I'm like, I used to read these stories about other people that like made it, and they're like living life on their terms on stuff. And I always thought to myself, man, I wonder what that would be like. And the fact that I was able to do it, still I look back and I'm shocked. I'm just like, man, this like usually that happens to somebody else. It doesn't happen to me. And so, I just think that the combination of Sierra and winter camping, and we hit it at the right time, and then COVID also hit, and I was out full time at that point, and things really took off. We were just in the right place at the right time. And because I think if I were to start a channel now, it'd just be more difficult to gain the eyeballs because there's so many more channels now, and there's the rise of the AI channels, which is what I talk about that a little bit in tomorrow's video. Oh, she's right here. She's just chilling. Meadow's just hanging. But I talk about that in tomorrow's video about the rise of AI stuff because I like the history genre, and so I'll watch a bunch of videos on history, and that video segment on YouTube has almost been completely captured by AI videos, and so you can tell when it starts. It's like the same voices that are like there's like 4 or 5 different AI voices that they use for these videos, but it'll write an entire script for a video. It's like 20 minutes long, and most of the times it's historically inaccurate, and so it's basically just making things up. And so it's like, I'm like, man, that's not cool because it's misrepresenting history, and um, I just think it's lame that it's taking eyeballs away from real content creators that are putting in the effort to research these stories and narrate them for you. And yet you've got this computer making up a story about history, and they're getting tons of views because they have a crazy looking thumbnail and a wild title to it that just sounds like, oh, you got to click on that and watch it. And I'm lucky because I think that the genre I'm in, that's not going to happen. Because like truck camping and being outdoors, stuff like that, I just don't think AI is going to get there to where they can replicate the experience. But um, yeah, that's another thing about the AI. They don't pronounce anything properly. Like I remember I was watching this one. And they pronounced Tokyo really funny, and I was like, what? So, um, it's easy to spot too because it's like they start out and it's like this weird story. It was the fall of 1792. The winter was brutal, and it's like it's not how somebody would normally talk. So Let's see. Do I feel like filming my life and progress have been difficult? No, I actually like doing it. A lot of times I'll just put the camera out and see what I get, and sometimes I don't get anything, and sometimes I get really good stuff. But yeah, Tesla robots gonna stop building truck dams. I would welcome that because it's tiring to do that. I just send out an army of Tesla robots, and they could go and set up all my check dams. But no, I'm excited. My neighbors that I've talked to about this, they're wanting to rock and roll with the check dams, and we'll make this area really cool. It's already cool as is, but we're making it better, you know. And the nice thing is that the people that bought the ranch, because I live on a working ranch, and so the land that I purchased here was part of their old land that they sold years ago. Well, they still have free range cows that come around, but the new owners that bought that ranch are making it to where they rotate the cows much more frequently, so they don't just park it on my land for months like they used to. And so they can only come through for a couple days at a time, you know, and it's only like maybe 2 or 3 times per year. So it's a real light grazing, which is what I want in that lower section. And it'll keep that tall grass in check, and then also keep it to where it's not as much of a fire danger, because they'll come through and eat all the tops of the grass down to about this much of it. And it's basically like mowing the grass, you know. So, so he says, Sharon, yeah, we're back. So I missed you. So, oh, thanks. Yeah, but we weren't quitting. I just needed to take some time off. So it was just really good to recharge the batteries and all that stuff. So see, out of office camping. What's up, man? The Tune M1's going good. I like that thing. It's really lightweight. It's really comfortable. You know, the bed in it's awesome. I got the insulation package installed, so it works out a lot better with the diesel heater. And Meadow loves it. She gets in that thing. Is just loves it in the morning time with the windows all around with the limo tent, because the animals can't see us. So there'll be like deer and stuff outside of the camper, and she's going nuts inside, just like it's like just super excited and ready to go out there and charge the day. And the deer can't see us on the inside, so it's cool every morning because it's like watching a National Geographic sunrise. You got wildlife running around all over the place. Meadow's loving it. And I'm in there making breakfast, so it's pretty cool. But until I get my neck sorted out, I'm going to limit the truck camping, just because I get out there and I just get really uncomfortable, and that's where I want to come back here and hit the hot tub and get my neck feeling good. So see, Pluto's Way, it's like I think it's almost 6 p.m. here, like 5:45. So. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and log off now. Though I'm gonna make some dinner tonight. What I'm doing for dinner, I've got pork tenderloin with like a bacon kind of crumble that goes on top of it, and it's an applewood smoked bacon pork tenderloin, and then asparagus, and then potatoes, and then we're gonna hit the hot tub. And that's what I also need to do too. I gotta go refresh the firewood. So, but we got a video uploaded for y'all tomorrow. It's got some winter footage, and then I'll have to after that we'll have a check dam video and all that stuff. So yeah, Vivian, I think the AI. I asked YouTube. I'm like, why don't you make like a filter on it to where people can select whether it's a 100% authentic video or an AI video, and that way their feed can. I was like, my feed's getting dominated by these AI videos. I don't want to watch them. I always say don't recommend channel and stuff like that. So let's see, Greg, what's up, man? Yeah, take care, everybody. Same back at you. Sheila, it's good to see you. Scott, thanks for tuning in. Dane, what's up, man? All right, everybody, have a good night. And tomorrow's upload, I'll probably upload it around, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. That way, kind of give the day some time to get started and all that stuff. So I'll get it up in the afternoon, and then we'll go from there. And then we'll get back on our regular schedule of posting all the time and just keep on trucking. So, all right, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.